Think about this for a second. You wake up in the morning. Your mind feels clear. Decisions come easy. But by evening, everything feels complicated. Even small choices feel exhausting. This is not weakness. This is not laziness. This is something researchers actually discovered in 1998. And it changed how we understand the human brain. Every single decision you make costs mental energy. Big decisions, small decisions, it does not matter. What to wear, what to eat, which route to take. Every choice draws from the same limited supply. And when that supply runs low, your decisions get worse. Not a little worse. Noticeably worse. Think about a judge in a courtroom. Studies found that judges made fair, more careful decisions in the morning. By the afternoon, without realizing it, they took shortcuts. They defaulted to whatever was easiest. They were not bad judges. They were just drained. Most of us experience this every day. We just never had a name for it. What this video is about is simple. There are 7 small habits, many of them practiced quietly in Japan for centuries, that protect your decision-making energy. They do not require discipline or willpower. They work by reducing the number of decisions your brain has to make in the first place. The first habit is about your morning. And it is almost embarrassingly simple. In many traditional Japanese homes, the morning follows the exact same routine every single day. Same tea, same breakfast. Clothes already chosen the night before. Nothing left to figure out. From the outside, this might look boring, but there's a reason for it. Imagine 2 students. Both have an important exam at 9 a.m. The first one wakes up, spends 10 minutes deciding what to wear, cannot find his notebook, skips breakfast because he ran out of time, and arrives at school already mentally scattered. The second one laid everything out the night before. She wakes up, follows her routine, eats breakfast, and walks into the exam calm and focused. Same morning. Very different starting points. Every small decision you make before your real work begins is a tiny withdrawal from your mental bank. Eliminate those decisions before they happen, and you show up to what actually matters with more to give. The fix is simple. Spend 10 minutes tonight preparing tomorrow morning. Choose your clothes. Prepare your bag. Decide what you will eat. 10 minutes now saves you sharpest thinking for later. The second habit has a Japanese name, ma. It means pause, or interval, or the meaningful space between things. In Japanese music, ma is the silence between notes. In Japanese architecture, it is the empty space that makes a room feel calm. In conversation, it is the pause that lets an idea actually land. Applied to decisions, ma means this. Do not respond immediately. Here is what most people do. Someone sends a frustrating message. They reply instantly, while still annoyed. Someone makes an unexpected request. They say yes or no before they have actually thought about it. A problem appears at work. They react before they have understood it. And almost always, that instant response is not their best one. Think about a time you sent an angry message and regretted it an hour later. Or said yes to something in the moment and wished you had waited. That is what happens when you skip ma. The practice is simple. When a decision arrives unexpectedly, just say, "Let me think about this and get back to you." Then actually think. Even waiting an hour changes the quality of your response. Sleeping on it changes it even more. The pause is not weakness. The pause is where better decisions live. The third habit comes from Okinawa, a small island in Japan with one of the longest living populations in the world. Researchers spent years trying to understand why. One thing they kept finding was a simple eating practice called harahachi-bu. It means, eat until you are 80% full. Stop before you feel completely full. Now you might be wondering, what does eating have to do with making decisions? More than you think. Have you ever tried to focus after a really heavy lunch? That heavy, foggy feeling in the afternoon? Your brain slowing down? That is not just tiredness. That is your blood sugar spiking and then crashing after a large meal. And when that crash happens, clear thinking goes with it. Eating smaller, slower meals keeps your energy more stable across the day. Your afternoon self stays sharper. Your decisions stay cleaner. You do not need to count calories or follow a diet. Just try one thing. Eat a little less than you normally would at lunch. Eat slowly. Stop before you feel completely stuffed. Then, notice how your afternoon feels compared to usual. Small change. Real difference. The fourth habit is called Shoshin. It translates to beginner's mind. Here is what it means in practice. When you have done something many times, you stop really looking at it. You assume you already know, and that assumption quietly closes off better options. Imagine a student who's been solving math problems the same way for 2 years. One day, a new student joins the class and asks a simple question. Why do we do it this way? Could we do it differently? The experienced student had never even thought to ask. The beginner saw something the expert had stopped seeing. This happens in real life all the time. At work, people keep doing things the same way because that is how we have always done it. In relationships, people react the same way to the same situations without asking whether that reaction is actually working. Before making an important decision, ask yourself 3 questions. What am I assuming that I have not actually checked? What would I notice if I were seeing this for the first time? What option am I not considering because I have already ruled it out? You do not need a special mindset for this. Just the habit of pausing to ask those 3 questions. Sometimes the answers surprise you. The 5th habit comes from Japanese manufacturing. It is called seiri, which means sorting. It is part of a broader Japanese system called 5S, developed to keep factory floors organized and efficient. The idea is straightforward. Remove everything from your immediate environment that is not needed for the task at hand. Sounds simple, but think about your actual workspace right now. Open browser tabs you are not using. Papers from last week. Your phone sitting next to your keyboard. Notifications pinging every few minutes. Each of those things is a small pull on your attention. Your brain keeps registering them even when you think you are ignoring them. Studies have found that visual clutter actually increases stress and reduces focus, even when people say they are used to it. Here is a small experiment. Before your next important task, a test, a project, a difficult conversation, clear your space completely. Close every browser tab you do not need. Put your phone in another room. Clear your desk. Then begin. Most people who try this are surprised by how different their thinking feels. The cleared space is not just tidier. It is actually easier to think in. The 6th habit is called nemawashi. The word comes from gardening. Before transplanting a tree, Japanese gardeners would carefully prepare the roots, loosening the soil, making space so the tree could settle into its new home without shock. In decision-making, nemawashi means this: talk to people before you decide. Not after. Most people make a decision alone, then announce it. Then they are surprised when others push back, point out problems they missed, or simply do not support it. Nemawashi reverses that order. Before making a significant decision, have quiet conversations with the people who will be affected by it. Not to ask for permission, not to gather votes, but to hear what they see that you might not. Think about a student trying to decide whether to switch to a different course. Instead of just switching, imagine they first talk quietly to a few classmates who already took that course. They talk to one teacher. They talk to a friend who changed courses last year. By the time they make the decision, they have already heard the problems and the benefits from people who actually know. the decision they make after those conversations is almost always better than the one they would have made alone. For any significant choice, talk to 2 or 3 people whose judgment you trust before you decide. Not for validation. For perspective, the 7th habit is perhaps the quietest of all. It is called Hansei. It means reflection. Specifically, honest reflection on what went wrong and what could be done better. In Japanese schools, Hansei is built into the classroom. After a project or a test, students are asked not just to check their scores, but to think carefully about their process. Where did I lose focus? What did I not prepare for? What would I do differently? In Japanese companies, teams hold Hansei meetings after every major project, wins and losses alike. Not to blame anyone, to learn. Most people review their decisions only when something goes badly wrong. And even then, they tend to focus on external reasons. The circumstances were difficult. Other people let them down. The timing was bad. Hansei asks a different question. Not what went wrong, but what did I miss and what can I do differently next time? The practice is simple. Once a week, take 10 minutes. Think about 1 or 2 decisions from the past 7 days. Ask yourself, what information did I have? What did I overlook? What would I do differently? Write it down if that helps. Over time, this builds something no app or system can give you. A real, honest understanding of how you actually make decisions, including where your blind spots are. All 7 of these habits share something in common. None of them ask you to be smarter. None of them ask you to try harder. They work by changing the conditions in which decisions are made. A prepared morning, a deliberate pause, a lighter meal, a beginner's question, a cleared space, a quiet conversation, a weekly review. Each one, on its own, seems small. Together, over time, they quietly change the quality of how you think. Bad decisions are rarely made by unintelligent people. They are made by minds that are rushed, drained, cluttered, or working alone when they should not be. These habits address exactly the. You do not need to start with all 7. Pick one, the one that felt most relevant to you, and try it for 2 weeks. Pay attention to what changes. Small things done consistently tend to add up to more than any single dramatic effort ever could. That is how Kaizen works. Not in leaps, in quiet, steady steps. Thank you for watching. If you found this useful, consider subscribing for more on focus, discipline, and practical growth.